Hi there! Well, today I'm going to be bringing you a review of my new favorite brow product, which is the Anastasia Brow Wiz. This is $21 for 0.003 ounces of product. I did purchase this through Sephora, but it is available at other retailers. It's available in 9 shades, and I chose the shade Taupe, which was formerly known as Ash Blonde, and I do find it to be a perfect match for me. So I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about how I feel about the product, some of the pros and cons, and also let you know some other things that I've tried that may or may not have worked out for me and why this product stands out. So let's go ahead and get started. So for those of you who've been watching my channel for a while, you may remember that I talked a little while back about how I was having trouble finding a brow product that I really loved that was also going to be cost effective. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the things that I've tried that have worked and some of the things that haven't. So I have just a few here in front of me. I know there's been many more that have been tossed in the trash as time has gone on, and I really don't have any reason why I've held on to these, but I guess it's good now for the purposes of this video. So I have tried the Revlon Brow Fantasy, and this was in dark blonde. This was a little bit too red on me. All of these were a little bit too warm red on my skin, and they really made my brows appear very clownish, and it was very obvious that it was not a good color match for me. The next one that I tried is the Mary Kay Signature Brow Definer Pencil, and this is in classic blonde. Same problem, a little bit too red. And then finally, I think this was the newest one that I tried. This is the Milani Easy Brow, and this is in natural taupe. I was really hopeful about this one. I really liked the amount of product that this came with. I liked that it had a spoolie on the end, but again, very red. So now to some things that I've used that I have really liked. So this is the Clinique Superfine Liner for Brows. This is in soft blonde. I really love this product, and this has been my go-to up until I found this Anastasia product. The other thing that I've used is the MAC Eyebrows in Fling. I don't have one of those right now, but in my opinion, it's the identical product to this Clinique Superfine Liner for Brows. They appear to be the identical colors to each other, and they also seem to be the same product, the same format, same everything. So I just would buy whatever was easily available to me at the time. Often I would get the Clinique because it would come with a bonus, and so that sort of made it more worth my while. Now I really like the Clinique Superfine Liner for Brows. I think it's a really good color match. It's easy to use. It's in a twist up form, and it goes on very easily. The product is a little bit soft, so it felt like I was going through these products every 3 to 4 weeks. Every time I turned around, I was throwing one of these away, and I had to open up another one. So at $16 each, that's pretty expensive. Now this and the MAC are both $16 for 0.002 ounces of product. So right away you're probably noticing that this is 16 and this is 21, and this is only slightly more product. But I'm going to tell you why I still think that this is a little bit more cost effective. So I mentioned to you that the Clinique and MAC products are both a little bit soft, so I was going through them very quickly. The thing that I've noticed about the Anastasia product is it has a little bit drier of a formula. Now I don't want that to turn you off to the product, because it's not a bad thing. I think that it's a little bit harder and a little bit drier gives it a lot more natural appearance. I think it gives my brows a lot more natural appearance than what it would with these other pencils. And I also think that I don't use it up nearly as quickly. Now, one of the things that I have noticed, one of the cons, is that it does take me a little bit longer to do my brows with this product than it does with the Clinique. I think because this is slightly softer, it seems to go a little bit more quickly. With the Anastasia product, I've noticed that it does take me a little bit more time, and I do have to really have a little bit more purpose. I have to draw a lot more of the small strokes on my brows, and it does take me a little bit more time to fill in. But I do like the overall results a little bit better. These are very, very similar in their color, but I've noticed that once my brows are finished, and I'm looking at this in pictures or videos that I've done because I've been using this for a little while now, I think that this is a better color match for me. It seems like the MAC and Clinique products are slightly lighter. I think this was a good match for me at the time, and I probably wouldn't have known any different until I started using the Anastasia. And now I think that this has a slightly darker appearance, but I do think it's a much better match, and it's a much better way to frame my face. I think it makes my brows a little bit bolder. It's because my brows are already naturally thin. I think having them be a slight bit lighter isn't doing me any favors. It's making them appear even finer and thinner, especially on camera with the lighting. I think it just enhances that look. This seems to give them a little bit more of a bold appearance. Not so much though that I feel like I'm having to be careful that I'm overdoing it. I still think it's very difficult to overdo it with this. I think this product makes it very easy. I think having it in the pencil format and being very fine makes it very easy to apply, so I really enjoy it. It's not a substantial time difference, but it's just something that I've noticed. So I am still using the Clinique. I have a couple of these to use up. I still love them. I still think they're great. I just do like this one a little bit more, and because it does have a little bit drier of a formula, it seems like it's just lasting me a lot longer. I'm noticing that as I'm using this, I am not advancing this product nearly as much as I was with the Clinique. The other thing I really like about this is when you do advance this product, you're also able to twist it back down if you decide that you don't need that much product. With the Clinique, this is actually like a clicking pen, so once you click it up, I don't know if you can hear that, it's very soft, but once you click it up, you can't retract it. So a lot of times this would actually break off and I would end up wasting a lot of products. So there are a lot more pros for me in the Anastasia. I also think with the Sephora sales that you're often able to get a sale on these. For example, I just purchased this with the VIB sale, so I picked up a couple of them, so I was able to get them at a good price. So if you know that you like this and you can plan in advance, it might be something that you can stock up during the sale times, and that might make it a little bit more cost effective. Plus, I think, at least for me, I've noticed it's going to last me a lot longer than the Clinique or the MAC versions. So just to summarize some of the pros of this product for me, I love that it gives my brows a very natural appearance. I feel like I've gotten a really good color match with this. I think because it's available in 9 shades, there's really going to be something for everyone. I think that's probably a much broader shade range than I found in any other pencils. I think that it's a really good format. I love a brow pencil. That's my favorite way to use it. You're not going to need a brush or anything else with it. I also love that it has a spoolie on the end here, so you're also not going to need a separate brow comb. So I like to use this before, during, and after I'm applying my brows. I also like that this is a very, very fine tip. I think this allows you to apply very thin, small strokes. So again, it helps with that very natural appearance. I also like that you're able to advance the product, but also turn it back down. It's not one of those that when you twist it up, you're not able to bring it back down. So you don't have to worry about any of the product snapping or breaking off and then you're wasting it. I'm going to go ahead and insert a short demo here, just showing you exactly how I like to use the product every day. And then I will come back and talk to you about some of the cons. Okay, so as you can tell, I have my left brow done here, and I'm going to go ahead and do my right brow. So the first thing that I do is take the end of the eye pencil that has the little spoolie on it, and I just like to comb out my brow a little bit just to make sure that it's in the right shape. So I'm just going to comb through really gently, and I like to go in the direction that the hair grows. So I'm going to go up and outward slightly here toward the center, and then I'm going to go more straight out as I get toward the tail of the brow. So just kind of gently combing upwards and then straight out. So that's all there is to that. So next I'm going to go down here to the pencil end, just advance it a little bit. I don't want to go too far because it will break off pretty easily, and you don't need a lot, so just enough for it to show a little bit here at the tip. I always like to start here on the inside and work my way out. What I do is I follow the natural shape of my brow, and I just like to thicken it a little bit. As you can tell, my brows are naturally thin, so I want to make them a little bit thicker, appear thicker, but I don't want it to look too unnatural. I think that that wouldn't look right either, so I just want to make them a little bit more enhanced than they already are. So I'm going to start out here on the edge and kind of lay my framework and then go back and fill in. So I'm going to start here at the top, and I'm looking in my mirror here. I'm just going to start at the top and kind of set that outer edge just so I know the area that I need to work within. And just doing very short, light strokes. You definitely don't want to draw anything too dark or press too hard. You want this to look very natural. And that one's kind of out of place there right now too. But I just, don't want to go in too far. I don't want to create a new shape. I just want to enhance the natural shape. So I'm just going to keep going here and then downward until I get everything filled in. Now mostly I just go in one direction. I'm just doing short strokes toward the outer edge. If I was doing this eye, I would go out this way. every once in a while I will have a really stubborn patch that will not fill in, and I will go back and forth a little bit, but I try not to do that because I don't want it to be too dark in any one area. If I have to do that, I will just go like that, back and forth a little bit. I do have a couple of spots on each side that tend to be a little bit stubborn sometimes. I know I had to do that over here. I think it was right in this area, but then I make sure to go back and then also comb that out. So let me stay where I started over here. So I'm just gently going over that area, and you know, you can always go back and add more, but I'd rather not have to use any makeup remover and start over. So I just sort of take my time with it. I'm bringing up that outer border a little bit to make the brow up here a little bit thicker, but again, not overdoing it. Just mostly want to fill in the brow. I also kind of rotate my pencil as I'm going. Also, I always want to use the side that's most sharp or most pointed. It's not exactly sharp, but as I'm kind of going in and filling in, it just gets a little bit soft or rounded, and then it doesn't do as nice and sharp of a line. So I just kind of keep twisting it and rotating it a little bit to always keep using the sharpest edge that I can. So I'm kind of just going along the top here, making sure that that's all filled in. Every once in a while I will go with the spoolie and just kind of brush through to make sure I don't have any really harsh spots. I think this really helps kind of soften it a little bit, allow you to see where you are. I think you should back up every once in a while, kind of evaluate where you are. I still have a lot to do underneath here, but I think it's better, like I said, to go ahead and just check where you are, and you can always add more, and it's a lot harder to take it away and start over. So now I just want to kind of go into the bottom edge here. I always like to add a little bit more thickness toward the top than the bottom. And this eye is being a little stubborn today. Another tip that I would really recommend is to be very careful about getting any moisturizer or any type of serums or products that you might use to prime your face in your brows. I find that when I do that, I have a very hard time getting my pencils and things to go on properly. Then I will really have an area that the pencil will not adhere to. So I kind of have it all filled in the way that I want now. I'm just going to go back through and make sure that it's completely filled in. I think the tail area out here is where we all sort of have a little bit of trouble with, and my brows are no different. I just try to make sure that I keep my hand steady. Sometimes I will rest it on my face just to keep it steady, and I just make sure I only go in one straight line. I don't want to thicken that up too much. I just want to fill it in a little bit. And again, not advancing too much product so your tip of this doesn't break off. And I think that's going to be it. And then after this step, you can set it with a brow gel. My brows don't get too wonky generally, so I don't always have to do that. Sometimes I will if I know I'm going to be going out for a very long day and I want to make sure my brows stay in place. But for the most part, I don't really have problems with them staying where they are. So you've probably heard it said before, your eyebrows are sisters and not twins, so they're never going to look identical, and I don't think that they should, but you just try to do the best you can to make sure that they extend out the same length out here to the side and then on the inner corner. But as far as the shape, I kind of just follow the natural line and let them be slightly different, but I just try to make sure that they're of equal length. So my brows are all filled in. I'm just going to go back over each of them one more time with the spoolie end just to sort of soften them up and make sure they look as natural as possible. I don't want to have any clumps of product or any areas that look a little bit too dark, so I think this is a good way just to keep it really natural. And again, I'm just sort of brushing upward and outward here on the interior, and then just outward and down slightly on the outer edges. And that's it. So as far as any cons go, there's just a couple, and I don't feel very strongly about either one of them, to be honest with you. So the first one is probably the most obvious. At $21 for 0.003 ounces of product, this is a little bit more of a pricey brow product. That being said, because I've talked to you about the texture of it being a little bit drier, I do think this is going to last me a much longer time than the other products that I've been using, such as the Clinique or the MAC. Also, I have tried so many brow products that have not worked out for me, like these drugstore products, and these are just a few of the ones that I've tried that I've ended up throwing away. So for me, it's better to plan ahead, buy these with the Sephora sale, get a little bit of a discount, know I'm going to have something that I really love that works for me. I'm not going to have to waste my money, and I know that it's going to last me a substantial amount of time. The other thing, and again, this is not a deal breaker for me, because it does have a slightly drier formula, it does take me a little longer to fill in my brows than it would with the Clinique product. Again, just not something that would make me not want to purchase it. I think that really lends itself to a very natural brow appearance. So that is it. Hopefully I have covered this well for you. I'm very happy to have this product, and I'm really thankful to all of you who suggested this to me. I've really been enjoying it, and I will definitely be repurchasing it in the future. So I thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye-bye.